students, faculties, and the viewers, those who are listening or watching this program right now. We, IIMT College of Management, under the aegis of Institution Innovation Council, governed by the Ministry of Education. Today, we are discussing over the topic how we can increase the entrepreneurship culture amongst the students, those who are studying in the final year or those who are studying in the pre-final year. So, as far as concerned about the today's environment, the competition is getting tough day by day, and due to the process of globalization, the earth seems to be shrinking. Nowadays, the company wants multi-skilled and multi-talented people, those who can cope up with any kind of challenges that is supposed to come in future, and they get all kind of solution whenever they want. So the process of modernization, globalization, and the external forces have changed the business world very swiftly. And every day we are getting a new way of technology in which the things are getting done in quite sophisticated way, in which the error are very precise and the productivity is increasing, and the companies again wants profit from the beginning of the first day of recruitment of the employee. So the company do not want to waste even a single minute when they are not conceived about the profit. So for that phenomenon, me along with my, as far as concerned about me, I am the Dr. Amit Rai, Dean Academics of IIMT College of Management, looking the uh, management department, and along with me, my you can say one of my classmates, or you can say you my friend Subhankar Chakravarti and Manohar Sharma from the American Mechanical Engineer Society. They come and they will discuss the whole issue, in which we can discuss how could we scale up the employability amongst the students community, how can we induce the culture of entrepreneurship amongst the students, how could we or can we increase the innovative way of thinking in which the student can think out of the box and can come out with the innovative solution, and with that innovative solution we commercialize the prototype kind of product. And with that we had discussed, and I do hope that the discussion going to help, or the discussion is going to solve the purpose of the students community. So it's good to listen Subhankar and Manoharji with this session. So let's begin with the session.
We have got Mr. Sharma joined.
Okay. Good afternoon, Sharma sir.
Good afternoon, Dr. I. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Um, yeah, I had some Wi-Fi issues at my end, so it took me about a minute late to join us. So thank you very much for joining. Shivankar has been in touch with you primarily for an initiative which ASME runs, in India. Uh, in fact, we just launched it this year. It has been running back in the US since 1992, and it's called the Leadership in Mechanical Engineering,
Okay.
or it's Mechanical Engineering Leadership Summit. So we call it MEAD in short. Primarily, that focuses on advancements in mechanical engineering curriculums, and then primarily with focus on education, how to marry the advancements in the changing phases of technology with the education, how to keep bridging this gap
Okay.
in practice, experiential learning, and in the books, how and what needs to come in as such, and to what extent it needs to come in. So this has been a practice back in the US since '92, since the Mid Committee was formed by ASME. In India, we have been operating since 2008 as a representative office, and we became an entity in 2013. So it's been about 14 years. We have been here mirroring ASME initiatives in other areas. So ASME is a well-known standards developing organization for more century, and then has other philanthropic initiatives focused on students and early career engineers and professionals. It has research publications, so has research focus, publication focused rather, research papers. So all that we have been uh, establishing over here in India, close to the doorstep to the Indian market. But then engineering education, reforms part we initiated just this year. Though in India, TQIP and other programs, World Bank assisted and our own government assisted programs have been running for quite long. We have interacted and then, but then I think we never had the bandwidth to initiate something that would be of concrete purpose and outcome, which as a knowledge based society we would always like to do rather than just talking about it. So this year, in fact last year we uh, the ASME board gave an approval with respect to the funding, and then creating programs transnationally on engineering education. So, and then India being one of the prime focus countries where know, we have a large ASME community and volunteers from academia, research, and industry whom we interact with. So we thought it would be good to bring this subject or this topic to India, and so our new education policy has already been drafted, came out. We have been in touch with the AICTE and the NBA for quite some time now as to carving out what role an organization like ASME should play in helping these engineering education reforms. Like what can we bring to the table which helps the overall objective, because it's a very large by a single organization, and then cannot be done in a short term as such. It has lots of gates or hurdles to cross as such, a lot of infrastructural and then structural reforms to happen in terms of assessment, in terms of curriculum, in terms of pedagogic approaches. So not only at the students end, but then more on the faculties and the institutions, and then policymakers themselves need to be clear about what you know needs to be changed. Somewhere we require very radical changes in terms of assessment and all. So, which for which what we have been following greatly needs to be undone. No, it's easier said than done. We have been seeing it. So the idea was to have a a conclave of academicians as thought leaders who are passionate about changing things on the ground, and then bringing together all of them with their thoughts on how and rather what and how needs to be changed. Right? So so that we can prioritize. We can't take all the things at one go. So we need to prioritize and then try to solve the top three issues where we can bring in support from the industry, support from the research community, from within India, from outside, to make these things happen. Just to give an example, we were talking about in the we did our maiden first mini conclave in March this year, in which
Okay.
about 100 academicians and people from the industry and research they joined. Many of them were panelists and speakers, and a lot of debate happened about three paradigms. One was on the new age curriculum, what it should contain, centered on mechanical. Uh, what should we bring in? And if it needs to be bring in, then how? what needs to be changed or what needs to be tooled up to make that change, because it is easier to say okay, change this, bring in IoT,